Wilson. They had 11 takeaways for the year. 10 of them had resulted in scores by the offense. Winston stumbled a bit as he went to give the handoff to Freeman. Again, horrible tackling by NC.
I believe it. And again, that's what championship teams do. They don't have let-ups.
Freeman rips through again.
Ball security, taking contact and hits.
Here he comes again. First down against an ACC opponent. That'll be their longest conference winning streak since 24 in a row under Coach Bowden. The pass, was it caught and then intercepted? Yes. It was a catch, then it popped out, and Dante Johnson intercepted all out. And then Johnson had his second interception of the year. Chadrick Thornton.
You got it.
Pistol formation now. Thornton, nice cut. And certainly that's something perhaps they can take away too, Chris, when you're looking for things to...
Or game situations that Brandon Mitchell takes.
Pistol again. Thornton. On 2nd and 8, Brandon Mitchell throws short. Asa Watson, the tight end.
Back into the pace of game after missing 5. He said he definitely feels like he's panicking, pressing a little too much. He just needs to calm down.
Then under duress. Underwood with some running room. He has a
true freshman after true freshman.
Wolfpack on the move. Chadrick Thornton again ran into Mitchell. Fires for Richard Smith. 2 games ago here, 63-0. Think about what they had done the last 2 games, the 14 and the last 3 games in favor of the Seminoles. They blitz. Mitchell throws incomplete. Crowd trying to help these backup defenders who are on the field for Florida State. Mitchell back to the line, and that's it. Knocked down by Reggie Northrup out of 14. 13 out of 15. A 36-yard field goal up and good. His school representing itself very nicely on the field, although I don't think coach is going to like that. Onside kick by Nicholas Sadie. Executed to perfection by the Wolfpack. It went 11 yards, and Coach Fisher yesterday, he said you told him years and years and years ago that you weren't going to hang around whenever the time came, that you weren't going to be the coach anymore and look over the shoulder of the new guy.
And that from when Earl Bruce took Woody Hayes' spot. But, Coach,
it's tough.
I wanted to ask you, besides the wins, how would you...
I was raised in Shadow Bear. I coached about 50 miles up the road from him when he came to Alabama, and I tried to copy a lot of my program. They didn't see how that comes out.
Well, it's one of those teams, too, Coach, with the day and age of the spread offense. They're pretty much still standard and very similar to what you did when you were here.
Yeah.
Even before Jimbo.
Very much. But,
bothered me, too.
I've seen a lot of great football players. Great legs, tear up knees, playing baseball. I'm sure it's going to happen to this guy.
Yeah.
Alabama. Now that ain't supposed to happen. Hey, when I was here, we couldn't get them out of Alabama. You know what? But the style nowadays, if a young quarterback is starting, he can play. Excellent play right there.
Yes.
Coach can mess it up. We've seen that, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But whoever gets the players going to win. It's like the Kentucky Derby. Whoever has the fastest horse is going to win it.
Last night at the Civic Center, when you got up and charmed the crowd for about an hour and a half with your legendary storytelling ability.
Oh, boy.
And again today.
Do it right. You know what? Don't cheat. That number one, because it will not work. And then usually it was just, try to treat them like your son. You and I know. Kids are coming up today without daddies.
Yeah.
I mean, over 60% of our players didn't have a papa. You know what? I think that's handled that part.
Are you a fan of the 14 playoff and the committee type?
No, I'm an old timer. I'm like your daddy.
All right.
Alabama and Oregon.
We got in top 4 about 10 years or 12, 13 years in a row. If we'd had playoff then, we might have got into a few of them. But
Coach,
anyway.
does a circus program?
Syracuse.
No. Are you trying to say we're a bunch of clowns up there at the Harvard of Central New York? I do not appreciate that. To somebody who cares about Florida State and asks for a little bit of money, you might have some success in raising funds for this university. Third quarter, Dave Doran said he wanted NC State to win the second half. Right now it's 3-0 in favor of the Wolfpack. Here's Thornton against these backups on the Florida State defense. And he goes the distance. Touchdown, first of the day for the Wolfpack, 72 yards. The longest run of the year by far for the Wolfpack, 30 yards longer than their previous best. Nicholas Sadie kicked it into the end zone. Kermit Whitfield, he can fly.
Had 89 crashes compared to 41 at Talladega over the past few years. So it's a dangerous track, but Jimmy can go.
For the Super Bowl, come play in it at the same time. Jacob Coker's pass is high, and it is intercepted. 11 for 24 on the day. More trickeration. Brian Underwood. Flags are down. He's out of
Jordan James back to get a little running game going.
I wonder about that offensive line at UCLA as well. After the play fake, Brandon Mitchell throws deep, incomplete. Trying to get it to Shadrick Thornton.
Running a go route down the sidelines.
Matt Days, the true freshman in at running back. Days, by the way, in the opener against Louisiana Tech, first collegiate game, ran for 84 yards, 3 touchdowns. He carries again to the 31. Here's Rob.
Wow.
Well, Virginia Tech number 14 in the BCS. Mitchell threw it away. There are 4.
That consistency from their coach.
Brandon Mitchell on 3rd and 7. In trouble. And yanked down. Tony Creasy, the running back. Mitchell got it ahead, and then Creasy got creased.
Game day crew can enjoy the nice block party that we enjoyed last night outside of our hotel rooms.
I don't think
worse.
2nd and 20. Carlos Williams again motivated to try to stay in the top 2 of the BCS standings. Coker taken down.
The explosiveness of the skilled players and how they know how to finish in the end zone.
Mason Beatty punts. Down to the 36. We resembled the Pumpkins in some way. Was that the point of that, you think?
I think the producer and director were looking at self-portraits. The game, as a whole unit, you tend to struggle, and that's what's happening. I'll tell you, I'm impressed with what Coach Dorn has been able to do with the second half.
Each of the last 3 years, averaged 8 wins a year. The last 3 years under Tom O'Brien. Went to 3 bowl games, won 2 of them. They're the only team years, and Mike Glennon for 2 as the starting quarterback. 3rd down and 3. Thornton open. He's had a big day.
And I think they need to strengthen the linebacker unit, which I know they'll approach in recruiting.
Thornton had the catch on the last play, which is his 5th catch to go with his career-high rushing day. Carries again.
There's a light that shines in you, Sean, so you had to be the one with the light. People say I've gone to the dark side a long time ago.
Mitchell keeps. By the way, Shadrick.
There's moral victories. When you're down 42-0, there's moral victories in the second half.
Pass deflected and almost intercepted. And we for a conference game. 4th and 6. And they convert. David J.
The football on the back end for Ohio State has struggled. Last in the Big Ten in pass defense.
Out in the flat it goes to Ryan Cheek. And he's to the 4-yard line. They've played the substitutes in the second half, and NC State is going to win the second. When you have to put the subs in, they love the fact they get experience. They don't like what it does to the stats. Touchdown, Shadrick Thornton.
That needs to be taken into consideration.
Nicholas Sadie kicks off. Levante Whitfield. Not stopped at your old redshirt freshman.
Yes, he is. He's the most NFL-ready quarterback.
Jacob Coker took off running, got tripped up as he...
Touchdowns, 31 interceptions. He's only thrown 3 interceptions this year. Now he's going to get tested tonight against a good, solid Stanford defense.
Those years it took for 89 accidents at Martinsville. Shannon could not rescue you again. Coker, I think tonight is why they...
He's back for the Ducks in return game, and certainly explosive player on offense.
And some people, Chris, are going to see the score and not have seen any of this.
The responsibility to vote, and you have to find out about the game, how it went down, and how Jimbo Fisher played Jameis Winston one series in the second half. And
presented itself, you got the opportunity to play.
Well, maybe we'll get back to that with the playoff system. Who knows?
Levante Whitfield, nicknamed Kermit. Coker's pass dropped.
I got emotional. I mean, this is my first time at Florida State. I just think that's one of the great all-time traditions in college football. And to see Bobby Bowden, you know, a man that I watched at Martinsville, 41 at Talladega. And they're not running 4 wide at Martinsville. Kermit's running 4 wide.
Touchdown! 31 yards. And it's a 31-point game. Lyle kicks off. Bunts it down the field, and a fair catch made.
Miami. And that kind of levels the playing field a little bit because nobody's intimidated by anybody.
89 players. No players. 2 minutes to go. 32-point game. Tony Creasy. Pulled down by Marquez. Mitchell takes off. It's pulled down.
What I owe. And you look at the numbers, he was victimized. I use that maybe overstating, but had some drop passes, so his stats would have been better. And even he
certainly earned the opportunity to play and would be the starting quarterback on, I would say, most of the other teams in the country. Ryan Green, the true freshman, getting a little run across midfield.